If you're an owner operator in your business and you paid contractors for services or labor last year, you have just 23 days, 14 hours, 20 minutes, and as of the making of the video, 26 seconds to lock in your profitability for last year. My name is Tyler, and I'm making this video to demystify the 1099 process and make it as easy for business owners to get this important step done so that you can get back to running your business, helping your clients, and growing your team. So to kick it off, I want to go over the three big ideas for why 1099s matter. Now, I've heard this many times from different business owners. Hey, does it really matter? It's just an informational form, right? Well, it is an informational form. You must do this and you must run your business like a business to ensure that you, as the business owner, can lock in your profitability. Now, as an example, let's say you paid a tile contractor last year $10,000. You didn't collect a W-9 from them for their information, and you don't issue them a 1099. The IRS may come back and take a look at your tax return and say, hey, you didn't file a 1099 for this contractor, therefore they never recognized the income. So since we didn't get to tax them, we're coming after you, and we're disallowing this deduction for the year. And on $10,000, that can be up to $3,000 in federal taxes that you have to pay on that missed deduction. So I really encourage you, run your business like a business, collect your W-9s, which are the informational forms that you need to get. Now, if you're watching this video and you think, what's a W-9? I haven't done that. I'll talk over a process to easily collect those, but I would highly encourage any owners of their business, especially if you work in the home services or trades fields or you're a contractor, have a stack of W-9s in your truck at all times. And then that way, if you're working with someone, you can just give them the W-9 and say, hey, can you just take a minute, fill this out? I need this in order to get you paid. Something my accountant requires of me. So if you can just get this filled out, all you have to do, take a picture of it, upload it to your Google Drive, and then you're done. You can get in that process. It makes the 1099 piece a whole lot easier. Now you may be wondering, well, I thought we were talking about 1099, so what's W-9? That's just the informational form you get from the contractor. What you actually file to the IRS is the 1099. There's two types, the 1099 non-employee compensation and the 1099 miscellaneous. They're not too different. Different people get them for different things. You can do a little research on that, but for the purposes of this, we're just going to talk about the non-employee compensation because that's probably what you're dealing with. So you must file them by January 31st. As I said, there is a penalty if you don't file them too. So not only might you get slapped with $3,000 of taxes, but you also may have to pay up to $630 in penalties. So again, don't skip out on this. Don't lose your profitability because you were too afraid to request a form from someone. So another thing I want to cover is who actually needs a 1099. Instead of having to pay every single contractor or vendor that you had last year via a 1099, there's a simple checklist I always look at. So for 2025, you can say, hey, did I pay him less than $600? If so, don't worry about it. You can skip them. Hey, did I pay you via credit card like on my Amex? You can skip that because that payment processor is going to handle that for you. However, most of the time you're probably writing physical checks. And in instances of that, the onus is on you to file the 1099. Another thing that a lot of people don't know is that if the business owner that you're working with has their entity set up for federal tax purposes as a C Corp or an S Corp, which would be marked on the W-9, you do not need to file a 1099 for them. Lastly, little pro tip, if you work with a lawyer, you always want to file a 1099, even if they're a C Corp or an S Corp, because the IRS likes to know what those guys are at. So to go back, I told you, just print off a stack, put it in your truck. The easiest way to do that, go on Google, search form W-9, boom. You can download this, print a whole bunch, save it in there, and you'll be good to go. If you didn't do this process early, you can actually send it out through different softwares that you have. I think Quickbooks has one. I know Avalara 1099, previously tracked 1099, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. They have that feature. It just costs a little bit of money. So I always recommend do something the fastest, easiest, and free way for you, especially early on, and just print these out yourself. So you may be wondering, okay, Tyler, got my W-9s, but who did I pay more than $600? Typically, what I like to do is if you do a good job of tracking your expenses in QuickBooks, you can just go into reports and type in transaction list by vendor. From here, you'll be able to see all the different payments you made to the year to different vendors. And you can see I have nothing here because that's because you need to make sure that you change the report period and go back in time and click last year. Once you hit last year, then you'll be able to see exactly who you paid and how much you paid them. You can go back and understand, okay, is this person over 600? Perfect. I need to send them a 1099. So once that piece is done, you can finish the process out by going to a service like Avalara 1099, which is previously called Track 1099, or another one of your choosing. I just like this one because it takes about $5 per form that you file. It's really easy and pretty quick. So when you sign in, you'll notice here that there's an option at the top, and that is you can either pick 1099 or W9. So if you haven't done your W9s, click this. You can get them sent off electronically. Text your contractor, hey, just sent you this to your email. Can you get this done by Friday so that way I can make sure we both don't get audited? Or if you already have your W9s, just go here into 1099, click to enter a new payer manually, and drop in that information. You can send it off, get it done, and that way it's out of your hair. You lock in your profitability and you don't have to worry about it anymore. This solution is pretty good for people who are really owner operators of their businesses. Once your business really scales, you probably will need a more robust solution, which I plan on making a video in the future. But if you have questions, put them in the comments. Let me know how I can better help you. And thank you for your time. Bye.